are you doing in my chair? How did you even... Oh, I know. My laundry bag is usually there. Wouldn't you be more comfortable over there with your big pillow? Instead of having the steering wheel poking in your back? And the water bottles in your way? See, I use the cab as like storage when we're parked, camped. The cab becomes storage. And Lefty's. I always leave him a path so he can get up into his chair. So he somehow made it up over the water bottle mountain and got into my chair this morning. You are such a goof. How uncomfortable is that? Are you kidding? Dude. Oh well. Okay. My Shark rocket is still going strong. I love this thing. It's got a powered brush in such a small unit. Man, does it pick stuff up. Well, the old generator's coming to the rescue again. Mike needs it. We've got pretty cloudy skies today. The sun's out right now, but you can see all the clouds. And the forecast over the next week or more has us with partly cloudy every day. So the generator definitely comes in handy for everybody. I'm glad I have that. So you're telling me this fire is going to blaze up in no time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I've started them without any of this stuff.
Oh, it's already going.
Yeah, but it's not going the way I want it to. So, you start with a pile of paper.
Mm-hmm.
You put your twigs around it like a teepee. You get bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's good dry wood, too.
Actually, it's not that dry.
The firewood or the branches?
Well, the gray colored ones are dry.
Yeah.
The rest of it got rained on.
Yeah, that's true.
2 nights in a row.
Yeah, 2 nights. And then this morning it was really wet out here.
It was.
Yeah. From like dew, I guess?
There it is.
Which is unusual out here. You usually don't get dew. Oh yeah, it's flaming up.
I started eating carnivore and everything, got pretty strict on it. All my numbers came way down.
Well, there's a reason for that, and so I'm going to bring up another. See, I gotta make a confession. 6 to 8 hours a day, I'm studying quantum biology. If you wonder what I'm doing here, I'm studying.
What are you talking about? Come on. Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you're having a great day. Happy New Year to all of you. Happy 2024. Can't believe it's 2024. I remember specifically 1976 stands out in my mind, in my memory. It was a bicentennial year, and it was an Olympic year, if my memory is correct. I know it was bicentennial, and it was Olympics. And so in 76, I would have been 12 years old, so I was, starting to become conscious, But I just remember, and that's, hey, come on back this way. That is so long ago now, at 24 plus 48 years ago. Good Lord. Oh, Yeah, look at this ground. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice. It's nice and moist and dark. And we have no dust here. We haven't had dust in this area. Hey, left. He always tries to pull me up there where people's camps are. This way. Come on. Come on. Knucklehead. We haven't had dust here since that rainstorm. So what's been happening, like today you can see it's supposed to be mostly cloudy today, and it sure looks like that's going to ring true. But we've been waking up to dew everywhere. Like on the motorcycle cover, it looks like raindrops, but it didn't rain. And like this morning, in the afternoon yesterday, this was like dried up on the surface. And now this morning, it sure looks like it rained. I don't believe it rained. I think this is all just the dew we've been having every morning. And it's got to be because of that rainstorm. There's so much moisture in the ground out here. There's a lot of areas of dirt where it's still wet, like the ground. This right in front of me here. Again, it's not showing up great on the camera, but this is very moist for out here. Very moist. And so when people are driving their rigs around in the camp area, there's no dust being blown up. It's been really great. So that means less number of times I have to clean out the rig, and wipe everything down from the dust. The temperatures have definitely changed out here. So right now what we're seeing is the low 60s for a high and the mid 40s for a low. And I just looked at the forecast, and in about a week we're going to be in the low to mid 50s for a high and in the mid and upper 30s for a low. So we're right in the dead of the winter right now here. Yeah, but the weather here, this moisture, and this had me think about something. And I could be totally wrong on this. I was watching something, it was about water and water shortage in areas of the world. And I started thinking about, when, we use water pretty liberally, like back in New York. You don't really think about it. It's not like when I had this job out in California many years ago. It was in the Fresno area, and they had water usage like for your lawns and stuff on just certain days of the week. So you couldn't just like run your hose anytime you wanted. You had to do it on specific days of the week. I think it was based on your address number, like even and odd days, if I remember right. This is a long time ago, but they had restricted water usage, which was a new thing for me, because like I said, back in New York, you just turn on the water whenever you want. But what I thought about was, so if I use water in New York and it's out in the grass and on the driveway, whatever, and it evaporates, right? It goes up into the sky. So the earth has an atmosphere around it that keeps everything down on the earth. So does that mean that every drop of water that has ever been on the earth is still on the earth somewhere because it can't escape and go out into space? Am I right with that? So water evaporates from lakes, oceans, goes up in the sky, and then gets deposited somewhere else. Snow, rain, dew, whatever. Am I right or am I wrong? I know someone knows the answer to this. Put it down in the comments, because I think I'm right. I mean, unless things can escape into space, but I think that everything that's down here is locked down here. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. So let me know in the comments. So today, not looking like a great day weather-wise. So I think I'm going to take some time and put this video together for y'all and let you know what we've been up to. Took a little vacation over the last week. And that's why you haven't seen a video. But, you know, everybody's busy around the holidays, so I figured I was just going to take a little break. And you know, you might say, well, you know, you don't really do anything all day. Why do you need to take a break from it? And I don't disagree with that statement. That's pretty correct. But it's funny, even with my pretty open schedule, when I said to myself, okay, I'm just going to take a break here and unplug for some days, I could feel that you know, I could feel that. And it's not an easy thing to do. I don't know. It's just me. Some of you can relate to that. It's just not an easy thing to do for whatever reason. And, you know, part of my goal when I changed my life and moved from the house to the rig was to be able to unwind and have a less stressful life. And don't get me wrong, that absolutely has happened. It really has. But I still have, what do you want to call it, like responsibilities. You know, I like to keep you all involved in what's going on with us, exciting or not, and communicating with a lot of you through comments and messages and all that. And, you know, I think for me, that's enough of responsibility doing all that. It's not too much, and it's enough to like keep me like on my toes and awake and alert and in contact with folks, you know. So I like that amount of responsibility as opposed to what I used to have. Buddy, you're going the wrong way. Are you following that bicycle track? Hey, let's go this way. Come on. See, he's taking advantage of... Come on, don't put the brakes on. Come on. Lefty, come on. Don't put the brakes on. Hey, come on. Come on, let's go this way. Come on, puppy. Left. Dude. I don't want to go that way. There's people's camps over there. Come on. You got dirt on your nose. This way. Come on. Come on, puppy. Let's go. He's taking advantage of me because he knows I'm talking with all of you. And I've got one hand on the camera and only one hand on his leash. And he takes advantage of me. He just starts walking in a direction, and because I'm not paying as close of attention as I usually do, suddenly we're where we shouldn't be. And he just wants to keep going. Now, it's chilly out. I've got on my long breeches right now and my jacket. It is chilly. It's probably 50 degrees. It's humid, which makes it feel chilly out here. It's a cold kind of humid, not a warm one. I was going to say back when I worked, even when I had vacation time, I was still in contact with work. You know, I remote desktop to my office PC and phone calls and messaging with my assistants and all that. Come on, this way. And, you know, I know a lot of you can relate to that. It was just, I always say it's how I was wired, but it's like I just had to have my head in things, and I had a hard time fully unplugging. You know, I would have, around the holiday time, especially Christmas, New Year time, the company I was at would, it closed 2 days for Christmas and 2 days for New Year's. And so I would bracket my vacation time for that time of year, and I would have 2 weeks off through the holidays. And even with 2 full weeks off during the holiday time, I was still wired in and working, basically. And when we started traveling in the rig, it took me, I talked about this in some older videos, it took me quite a while to unwind. I mean, like 18 months before I started feeling that I was relaxing. You know, when we first were on the road, I was still setting my alarm in the morning to wake up for at least two months, I remember. And then one day I was like, what am I doing? Why am I setting my alarm? I don't have to get up. And now fast forward to today, and I enjoy that I wake up in the morning, and if I feel like rolling over and going back to sleep, I do that. And it took me a while to get to this point, for whatever reason. I don't know. It's just me. So we've been hanging out. We had a good Christmas day. We got together with just a few folks around here, and we cooked some stuff out on the grill. Some sausages that Barry sent me. Thank you, Barry. They were excellent. And you know, since Christmas, we've just been kind of hanging out. Oh, I flubbed up on my daughter's gift. I'm such a knucklehead. So she wanted, y'all know the brand Uggs. They make like these boots and stuff, and you know, all kinds of hats. And well, they have these earmuffs that are very stylish, you know, and my daughter is very stylish. And they have these Bluetooth earmuffs. And so I'm like, okay, I'll get them. So I find Uggs earmuffs, I order them, I have them gift wrapped and delivered to her house. She opens them on Christmas, and finally later, Christmas Day, I coaxed it out of her. She's like, oh, Dad, you sent me the regular Uggs earmuffs. They're not the Bluetooth headphone earmuffs. Oh, so, yes, I'm a knucklehead. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So I'm like, we'll find the ones you want, and you know, I can get them for you. Not a big deal. And of course, they're sold out everywhere. They're not available. So, oh, you know what she could do? Put her AirPods on under the earmuffs, because they are the Uggs earmuffs. They're just not the Bluetooth ones. But yeah, Dad screwed up. I don't know. It's so stupid. But she did, it was nicely gift wrapped. She sent me a picture of it. And then she made a comment about how I used to go in really deep on the package wrapping. She remembers that. So we're gonna get up into town here. I'm gonna take y'all to the flea market. So watch that coming up. The big tent event, they have this gigantic RV centered big tent, they call it. It's this huge tent they set up, and all these vendors come there, and so it's kind of like a little trade show kind of thing, where you can look at new gear and you can talk to companies that have the jobs, you know, for boondocking jobs, camp hosting and things like that. So that's coming up, and that's what everything is centered around as far as like all the vendors. They definitely all get set up for the big tent event, because that's when it's most people are here. That's when it's most crowded. So we're going to get up in town. We went up the other day and went to one of the tool places, KB Tools. They have 2 locations, because I wanted to get a new valve for my water jug. I keep it's like a 5-gallon blue water jug. I keep it out it's on the bike carrier, actually, out behind the truck. And it's like I go out there and rinse dishes out. I rinse out the percolator every morning. So it's nice to have that outdoor water. And the sun warms the water too. I've actually washed my hair out there before with warm water from that. But the little turn valve, it's plastic. And over time, they get really, really hard to turn. And mine has gotten really bad. I mean, that thing is, I'm going to say it's 4 years old, so it's not like it happens fast, but it has gotten progressively harder to turn. And I feel like I'm going to give myself carpal tunnel some days when I go out there. And Jeff, my friend Jeff, you remember him, he went down towards Yuma way a while back, so he hasn't been around here. But he went for the same blue water jug. He got a different valve that's more like a water spigot you would have on the side of your house. So way easier to turn than just the single lever that's on there now. So I went over there to KB Tool to see if they had one, and he knew what I was talking about, but he didn't have one. So I'm like, okay, I'll go check the other location. And then we got busy that day and I didn't go over there. So we're gonna stop over there and see if we can find that replacement water valve to make my life easier so that I don't break my thumb on that thing. And we'll check out all the vendors, and I'm gonna figure out how I can clip you all up to bring you along with us without looking like a total nerd with cameras clipped all over me. See what I come up with, and I'll make sure my microphone is working. I went on a walk with y'all yesterday and got back, and there was no audio on all of the footage because the battery had run out in my wireless mic. So I was really happy about that. So this is our second walk in a row together. And we're gonna go back and get him some breakfast right now. And I can see his new Kong ball over there. Ryan and Christine stopped by a few days ago, and they brought Lefty some new toys and some goodies. And another Christine stopped by and brought him some toys and goodies. So he is just so spoiled. Thank you all for doing that. You know he loves package time because usually sometimes more than half of the stuff is for him. That's why he loves package time and Christmas time. He is really stocked up on snacks. One of you commented the other day, or sent me an email, I believe, and said you wanted to send Lefty something, but the wish list was empty. And I replied back and said, yeah, we're just overloaded right now with snacks for him. I actually had to offload some and store it in the microwave because we're so full up. His area of the cabinet, which is substantially large, is totally overflowing with goodies from all of you. So he is doing good. Well, thank you for coming along on the walk this morning, listening to me ramble. So look for an upcoming video on going into town in Quartzsite, going to the big city. We went up to Parker a few days ago and did some grocery shopping. You know, Parker it's 25 miles from our camp right here north, and Parker has Walmart, Safeway grocery, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, you know, a bunch of auto parts stores and bunch of gas stations, and that's where you can get good gas too, like non-ethanol gas. So I picked up some gas for the bike because I was low, because I don't want to run any ethanol fuel through there. They also have 100 octane fuel at the one station up there. So, you know, if you can't find what you're looking for in Quartzsite as far as groceries and all that, you just scoot up to Parker and wade through the melee in Walmart to get what you need. We went to the self-checkout there, and the line was pretty long, and you know, it moves pretty quickly, so it wasn't that bad. But there's nothing worse than getting in that line, and I am not a line waiting person. I don't like it. I remember one time we went in there, it was this year, we went in and the line for the self-checkout was so long, it was terrible. And I looked at the cash register lines where they have employees working, and one of them had just opened. And I walked up there and I was the first person. I'm like, why is there nobody in line? She's like, oh, I just actually opened. You're my first customer. People were looking at me that were standing in that line, like, because by the time I got to be checking out and she was ringing my products, you know, a bunch of people had gotten in line behind me. And all these people had seen me like go from the really long line and walk over there. I just got lucky. You know, there's nothing more to it. I got lucky. Yeah, we went up there a couple days ago and restocked on some stuff. Not a lot. I can't buy too much at once because we only have a finite amount of storage space. So I have to, you know, don't go in there hungry, because I'll come out with way too much stuff. All right, thanks again for coming along with us on the walk today. Everybody take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. Me and him, right there. There he is. Yeah, there's his new Kong ball. Right there.